khabar semua? Set up MySQL server first. So the MySQL server you need to tell you the start from download lah. Download MySQL installer. Installer tu dia ada complete. Download yang complete. So dalam package tu select you need to install MySQL server. Lepas tu MySQL workbench. And the other one is J connector. Yang lain tu tak perlu. Okay, maybe you boleh tengok dalam video saya lah yang first ni. Okay. Then secondly, you need to create connection. Create your database lah. Create database in MySQL server. Dah ada ke database sebenarnya? Okay. Firstly, you kena create your database first. Okay. In order to create database, open SQL ataupun start MySQL server. So you can start from MySQL workbench. Ni yang masalah yang nak start ni yang saya buat dalam video tu lah. Once you can start, then you need to create database. Create database, lepas tu create table. Okay. So in case you want to test to display data, you need to insert some of data. Okay. Then after you already set up at the stage one, first and second step, you need to go to Eclipse. Then you can proceed to do the programming lah. Okay, JSP file in Eclipse. Okay, so in the Eclipse, okay, supposedly your project lah, create JSP project. Project. Okay. Okay, in the Eclipse, another thing you need to consider is, okay, before that, another one. Ini yang fault lah. Another one, you need to set up at your server as well. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, you need to make a connection between your server and your Tomcat, right? MySQL server with your Tomcat. So, you need to copy the jar file. Okay, MySQL jar file. Ataupun yang dia bagi dah J connector tu. So you need to copy into the library, Tomcat library. Make a connection between Tomcat server, the MySQL server. Okay, what you have to do is you need to copy. So firstly you need to download ataupun you get from you install from MySQL installer tu. Tadi pun dah ada, ataupun kalau tak ada you kena download lah. Download MySQL jar. Download yang tu. Then secondly you need to copy the MySQL jar file tu into your Tomcat library. Tomcat/lib. Macam tadi jugalah. Okay. Okay, download your MySQL di sini. Mana dah saya punya MySQL? Okay, tak ada. So pun MySQL. Okay, kalau you dah download dalam from the MySQL installer, dia dah ada dalam ni. Dia masuk sini J connector. So you need to copy the MySQL connector .jar ni, copy into your server, Tomcat server, this one in library. Okay, this one you put here. Okay, so this now you already add two jar file. Okay, first the Java MySQL connector .jar, another one is the JSTL. Macam tu. Okay, tu satu. Tu. Okay, next. The next step, set up in your project lah, in Eclipse. Okay, so in the Eclipse, okay, another one, same with the how to set up the JSTL, you need to configure build path. Okay, configure build path. Okay, build path tu you kena add jar lah. Add MySQL jar into your build path, class path. Okay, so you need to add. Okay, for example, this one is my new project. So go to build path, configure build path, then make sure in the class path you have the MySQL jar. Here right now my folder still not have the MySQL jar. Okay, so you need to add external jar. Okay, find the external jar. Okay, the J connector, this one, add into your project. Boleh tak? Make sure we have this MySQL connector Java, okay, .jar in my class path. Okay, this step is similar how we set up the JSTL. So here we have JSTL and MySQL in our class path. Okay tak? Boleh faham tak?
Faham, sir.
Okay, faham mana dah? Okay, yang tadi tu. Ni setup configure build path. Then build path. Right after that, you are ready to do the programming. Okay. Create a JSP file. Okay, then you can use the JSP. Okay, at the JSP pula. In the JSP, so you need to include the library. How to include the library? So you need to import SQL. Another one. Okay, this one, apply and close. Then you need to import. Okay, sorry, we paste at the top. Okay, this one. Okay, so another one, in the coding, in your file, JSP file, you need to include this import the Java. Okay, so you need to import the basic lah, the basic one, IO, util, and another one is SQL. Then you are ready to do the programming. Okay, import java.sql library. Okay, macam tu. Here are the step. Boleh? Okay, so let's proceed with the question, our exercise. Okay, for example, we want to create insert page. Okay, insert page. So the form just has 3 attribute: ID, name, and branch. Okay, so we want to insert. Let the user insert through this form. Okay, then proceed. Then it will save into ataupun store the data into our database. Okay. Ni. So you need to create a form. Okay, example, you want to use a JSTL as well. Okay, incorporate with the SQL. Okay, for example, okay, in our body, okay, firstly, create our form. Create a form. Okay, for example, my form consists of ID, first name, a little bit different. ID, first name, and last name. Ataupun we can just follow this ni. Tak apalah, sebab saya dah create database. Okay, saya just use my database lah. ID, first name and last name. There are 3 attributes. ID and action. Send to the same file, insert.jsp, because we want to retrieve in the same file. Okay, in order to get the so we are ready. Our page is ready. Okay, try to build, run our initial. Okay, so our file is ready to submit. Then we can proceed to do the next step. Make a connection, because we want to insert the data. Okay, the data field into the form. Then we want to insert into the database. Okay, in order to insert into the database, we need to connect to our database. Okay, firstly open our database. Okay, start our server through a workbench. Okay, create connection. Okay, make sure our connection is accessed. You can access our database. Okay, how to access the database? Choose the schemas. Ni sini sebelah kanan kiri ni. Okay, at the administration you can see the status of your server. Okay, server status, or you can start or shut down your server. Ni start or stop. Okay, but now our MySQL server is running right now. Okay. Okay, then go to schema. Database. Example, my database is testdb. Okay. Sini you can create table. In case you want to create a new table, ni klik ni. Create a new schema. Schema means database lah. Okay, create schema. Then you can create your database. Student DB. Okay, this is the name. Student DB. Okay, apply. Ni bagi nama, then apply. That's it. Dah create table, finish. Okay, now we have the table. Okay, as we can see here, the student DB is listed in the schemas list. Ni dah ada, tapi table tak ada lagi. So how to create table? So you just right click on the table ni, ataupun boleh guna icon atas ni. create table. Okay, ataupun create table sini. So dia pergi sini, then you need to give enter your attribute. For example, we have 3 attribute: ID, name, ID, branch. Okay, first ID we can set as integer. Okay, name. Secondly, name. Okay, consider varchar. Another one is branch. Okay, then apply. Okay, now we have one table. Okay, new table. Okay, table name student. Tadi student DB. Ni nama table dia student. Okay, now we have the student table. Ni. So in order to see your table, you can press button di kecil ni. Dia keluar sini lah. So you can do a selection query here. Select all. In case right now initially there is no data. Okay, so you can add the data here. For example, one name Abu, branch Machang. Okay, then apply. Dah ada data. Okay, that's it. Ataupun you can add insert from coding. Okay, what we want to do right now. Okay, sekarang ni we want to add or insert through our website. Okay, so firstly you need to make a connection first. Okay, the connection. Okay, so the database we use a JDBC driver as we add into our class path. Okay, so you need to link with your database, the URL, JDBC MySQL localhost, the port name, port number, and your database. Okay, so your database as I create just now is studentDB. So you need to use our database studentDB server. Okay, another one you need to set the server time zone. In case certain because we do not set the time zone, so we need to specify here. Okay, in case we did not add this, you will facing with error lah, error time zone error. So you have to set this one lah. Letak je, copy sini. Right after the database, copy this one. Okay. Ataupun nak tunjuk example. For example, this one, right? Okay, this one is okay. Okay, in case you do not add this server time zone UTC, so it will appear error. Oh, okay. Kalau okay lah. Kalau in case kalau ada error related to time zone, you need to add this. Boleh. Okay, this one. So right after that, you can proceed to your code lah to insert and so on. Okay, now we want to insert the data. Okay, in order to insert, we have to use the command. Okay, for the insert. Okay, we can do the right after our form. Okay, in order to insert, we need to use SQL update. Okay, update mean we can also can be applied for the insert. Okay, untuk update insert, we also need to use update. So you need to use this tag, SQL tag. So the data source DB. So the DB you need to match with your variable here. Okay, the data source variable DB, so you need to use the DB name. In case you use a different name, so you need make sure you use your variable name. Okay, the data source name. So put here. Okay, another one is variable for this operation. For example, this variable is insert data. Okay, the insert data ni specific to this operation. Okay, insert into, okay, setting your SQL query, insert into, okay, the user, the table name. So you need to link with your table name. For example, my table is student. Okay, insert into student. Okay, without S, right? Student without S. So here, the attribute of your student. For example, we just add. Okay, not. We are not dealing yet with the form. I just want to try test. Okay, so to insert into this table, right? ID, name, branch. Okay, the first is ID, second, and the name is Sarah. Okay, branch Terengganu. Okay, this just example. Ni belum ambil daripada form lagi. Test dulu. Okay. Okay, just refresh our server. Okay. Okay, duplicate key mean we already submit 2 times. Okay, because we have the primary key. So here we try to refresh. How to refresh? Okay, here. Then can you see the new added data to Sarah Terengganu? Okay, boleh nampak tak? So it indicate that our code is successfully connected to our database. Okay, dah berjaya connect to database. Okay, then you can proceed to get the data from form. Okay, how to get the data? So in order to get the data, dia tak boleh buat macam ni lah. So you need to use get data. Okay, in order to get data, we can use param. Okay, we need to use get data from form. So we can use okay, there is two way lah. Okay, first I show you use this one, param dot id. Okay, id means here from the form. Okay, the name of from the form for the id. Okay, second attribute. Oops, mana jadi gitu? Lebih. Okay, so another one, next the name. Okay, param dot fname. Sorry, tukar nama dah. Tadi kita nak buat id, name and branch, right? Okay, another one is branch. Okay, give a name, and the one is branch. Okay, name, and the one is branch. Okay. So means you want to get data. Get data param.id ni want to get data from this text ni. This one our form is transfer data into the same file, insert the JSP, then we can get the ID, name and branch. So how to get the data? We can use param.id, param.fname and param.branch, param.name. Okay. Try to test. Okay, here insert student value. Okay, there is no value, so we need to handle the value because right now there are no values inserted to the form, so we need to handle this situation. So we have to use if condition condition to make sure the data is there, then we can proceed. Okay, for example here I use if use the variable test to make sure the data is there is a data, then we can proceed. Make sure the data in there are the data, then barulah kita proceed to this code. Okay, boleh try ni. Okay, refresh. Okay, now our form is ready. Then try to enter the third data, ID 3. Okay, Mazlan, branch Kota Baru. Submit. Insert the not found. Okay, ni apa pula ni? Status oh, okay, nama lain. Oh, sorry, bukan insert the JSP kita guna sekarang ni. Okay, nama. So now I want to send this at the same file. Okay, my file is myweb.jsp. Okay, myweb.jsp. Back and re-enter 3 Mazlan, and another one is Kota Baru. Let's see. Okay, because my code right now not mentioned in the status, any status after status for success or not, right? So we need to the status actually for our website in order to indicate our process is successful or not, or fail. So now we can check in our table. Okay, so we got the data in our ni. Okay, we have the data 3 Mazlan in Kota Baru, kan? So next, okay, so you need to do the programming lah, yang add the yang supposedly you need to the appropriate code. This one I just share the basic one. Okay, so to insert data. Okay, now try to display. Okay, in order to display, we need to use the other tag. Okay, this one update is for insert. Okay, now we want to display. Okay, in order to display, we have to use query tag. Okay, for example, the DB. Okay, variable give the name rs. Okay, select all from student. Okay, that's it. So you want to display in the table. Okay, create a table. Okay, the result you want to display in the table. Okay, create the table. Okay, table student ID, name and branch. Okay, so the data supposedly we put into a repetitive structure, right, in order to display all our data, because right now I have 3 data in our table. So supposedly we should handle it using looping. Okay, in order to use loop, we can use for each tag. Okay, for each tag. Okay, for each step, so we will loop until the last data. So in order to display our data, use cout tag. Okay. Okay, so we next to get the data from the table. Okay, variable table here. Use table. Indicate our table, ataupun you can use your table name if we want. So another one, you need to get the attribute of your table. So attribute of table you need to get from our website database ID, name and branch. Okay, ID, name, and another one is branch. Okay, then insert into Mozilla. Okay, the data has been there. So maybe we need to restart our server because we already entered the data. Then it still have the data in our browser. Okay. Okay. So as we can see, our page already can display data. Okay. Okay. For example, we add the new data for Mariam. Okay. Ni Arau. Okay, now it will add here Mariam Arau. Okay, boleh.